We are setting up for February, the hardest month for me to come up with a theme because I don't want to go fully Valentine's Day, so I did a romantic theme but with nymphs, doves, and frogs. Hi, I'm Juliana and welcome back to another video. And when I don't know what I'm going to do for a theme, I always go back to my stickers from Runa Maruti. She's the best and I really love all of her designs, so this time I chose this one. This journal that I'm using for the first half of 2026 is the A5 Moons Power Dot Grid Notebook in the color Warm Brown from T. Fossey, and the stickers that I'm going to use, as I said before, are from Runa Maruti, and these are not sponsored at all. I genuinely love them. These are the Nymph's Garden theme for Patreon, and I'm one of them, so I get them every month. And these are just absolutely perfect for February, because even though it's not around love letters, and things like that, it still gives you a very romantic vibe that matches the overall February aesthetic, if you are into that, of course. For this one, I'm actually going to keep things on the minimal side. Usually when I do collages, I tend to go a little maximalist, but this time I think the more minimalist style matches the aesthetic a little more, so I tried, okay? And I'm starting by putting down on the page this sticker paper that she sends every month with the stickers, and I'm using two of them. The other one that has writing on it is from a different month, if I'm not mistaken, but it fit the theme that I was going for, so I decided to use it. I was very limited on stickers. I only had the die-cut sticker of the Nymph and the sticker sheet to get me through the whole setup, so I tried to be very strategic with the way I put them on the pages so I wouldn't run out of them in the middle of the setup. The Nymph sticker has a very subtle textured glitter effect that is absolutely beautiful, and since it's so subtle you can't even tell on camera that it's there. And then I was going back and forth with the positions of the lace PET tape. This one is from the washi tape shop, and I thought it was a good tape to match the pinks and the romantic vibe, so I used it, but I moved it around a lot, and I think I like how it looks in the end. For the title, I usually write my own with a font or my lettering style, but I had these stickers from Ikigai Papier and the green matched really well with the color palette, so I used it. And finally, for the quotes, I didn't have any in mind, so I used this one from Runa's Cottagecore and Hobbitcore journaling bundle from her store, since the quote is pretty much within the theme, and it says, "Blooming dreams in a meadow of tranquility." Moving on to the calendar spread, since I knew the decoration was going to be very minimal and light, I wanted the calendar to be the main focus, so I did individual boxes for every day of the month, and to still give the romantic vibe, instead of doing a straight line, I did a dashed line. And I did it with a green fine liner because I didn't want any black on this setup. The black would be very harsh with the color palette and it wouldn't blend in as well as other colors would. And then to actually give something to this calendar, I chose 3 colors to color in each box. And the ones I chose are a cream, a light pink and an olive green. They are muted enough that they blend in, but they are bright enough that they catch your attention. This is a layout that I use whenever I know the calendar spread will be very empty or minimal, because it creates some depth and interest without doing much. It's very simple and a very good way to do your calendar if you don't have many stickers or washi tapes or whatever stationery to decorate, because the calendar is your own decoration. Then I just did the days of the week with the same pink marker I'm using for the little lines and dots on the empty spaces for some consistency, and for the decoration again is just a few things: the sticker paper, the lace PET tape, the pink glitter washi tape, and some stickers. I also forgot to write the days on the calendar, but I'm going back later to add them. And that's it for the calendar spread. So now let's do my task spread. If you are new here and don't know what I'm going to use this spread for, this is basically just a space to write my to-do lists. I used to write in my weeklies, but sometimes I have some tasks that take more than 1 week, and sometimes they overlap with others, so I decided to create a little space for them and keep them separated from my weeklies. This one I keep very empty, not just for this theme but for every setup, because I don't know how much space I'm going to need. But for March, I think I'm going to downsize this spread to 1 page only, because the way I write my to-do lists is very compact, so I don't actually use one spread. Instead of writing tasks as the title, as I usually do, I had 2 book stickers, and one of them I used here because Daily Musings kinda reminds me of my tasks, so I used it in here, and the other I'm going to use later on. Then I went back to the calendar because I remembered that I didn't write the numbers and I didn't do the little lines and dots, and that's going to happen a lot because I'm not used to add little things to the spreads, so bear with me please, but don't worry, I eventually remember to add them all to every spread, so in the end it's going to be fine. Okay, let's continue on to a recent addition to my setups. This is the February in review. So in here I put everything about that month. I made different sections, and ones I have are favorite book, favorite manga or manhwa, my favorite song, a quote of the month, so anything that stuck with me, what I'm currently watching in TV series, and what I'm watching in anime. Then in the middle I have a section that doesn't have a name. This one in January I decided to have places I've been to, so any cafes, any cities or anything like that I've been to during that month. But until now I haven't went out much because I've been updating my work and I'm still designing my studio with contractors and things like that, so it's been a busy month. So because of that, I think that section is going to remain empty. And in February, I decided to wait until the end of the month to decide on a section name, or maybe I can make a collage with the things I've been watching. So until then, it remains empty. Safira decided to be part of the spread, so I had to distract her with something else. Otherwise, you would watch this spread until the end of the video. So then for the title, I tried to copy the font of the title that I put on the cover spread, and I actually love how it turned out. I used a very similar grain of the Pentel brush sign pen. I said it before and I'll say it now, this is my favorite pen to do lettering. If you want small titles or more elegant ones, this pen is perfect for that. Also, some good ones that I also love are the journal pens from Ohuhu. Those are the ones that have a dot and a brush nib on each end. So for this spread, since it's already quite full and it's going to get even fuller when I fill in the sections, I decided to keep the decorations light with just the tapes and some stickers. This Dove die-cut sticker is actually a freebie from Ikigai Papier, but it fit in so well with the theme that I decided to use it. And now that the details are done, we can continue on to my weeklies. If you see any of my bullet journal videos, you already know that my strategy for when I have less stickers to use is always making Dutch doors. So that's what I'm going to do here. Dutch doors are always my favorite layout for weeklies. I always tell you this, but I really like how easy and simple to decorate they are, so they are my go-to layout. I cut enough pages to make space for all the weeks in February, so I'm going to put together the 1st of February with the first entire week, because it falls on a Sunday and I like to keep my weeks together, if there are less days in one of them. I don't think that made any sense, but hopefully you understand what I mean. For the rest of the weeks, since I like to keep things symmetrical, I made 8 sections, 7 for the days of the week, and the other is for notes. Then the last week only has 7 days, so I used the extra space for the 1st of March. Usually I don't put the days from other months together with the weeklies of the other, but I just wanted to use the space, so I made an exception. I rounded the corners to give a more polished look and make it look like these pages were always like this from the very start. And then for the functional parts, I used these number stickers in green because I wanted them to contrast with the pink of the marker I'm using for the days of the week and the details on the spread. And that's it for the Dutch doors. So now what we have left to do is decorate the sides. But before we do that, let's go back to the calendar spread and add the numbers because I forgot to do that. So we are now back again to the weeklies, so for the decoration I'm relying heavily on the glitter washi tape to give me some depth and also the 2 stickers that I'm using for this one. If you like this washi tape, I actually don't know where it's from because it was a Christmas gift from my friend, so I'm sorry, but I'm sure you can find something similar online. I think Evie has a washi tape set with some metallics and similar colors, so go check them out. Now, for the last spread of this setup, we are making on the left page a brain dump, which is pretty self-explanatory, and on the right page I'm leaving it empty because I'm going to use it for journaling. Like really journaling, diary type of thing, which is something that I'm trying to get into this year because I don't really talk about my feelings and what's going on in my head, and sometimes it's a little too much. So in the empty spread that I left after the initial setup and before the January setup, I made a table with 24 journaling prompts that I'm going to let you see later. Some are fun and some are more deep to think about. So every month I'll go to a number generator online and randomly pick 1 or 2 numbers. It depends on how much I need the journaling session, and hopefully that way I can express my feelings a little more, and maybe by writing everything on a page it makes my head a little clearer. Wow, that was a little deep and vulnerable, but that's true, and I want to give you some ideas if you resonate with me in that way. And now for the decoration, I'm running out of stickers, so I'm going to use the last of them in this spread. And I alternated the position of the tapes. On the left page I put them on the top, and on the right page I put them on the bottom. It's just an easy way to switch things out and make them look slightly different. And then I just used the bottom of the left page to put the remaining stickers. The setup is all done, but I'm going back to that table on the initial setup to show you the actual journaling prompts. And maybe you can pause the video if you want to check them out. I searched many journaling prompts on Pinterest, so I just took the ones that made sense to me and compiled them all in this table. I just had a few little details that I forgot to add on to some spreads, so let's just go back and do that really quickly. And it's time for the final flip through. Even though this theme is quite minimal and simple, I think it's really pretty, but that's all because of the stickers. So if you enjoyed it like I did, leave a like, subscribe please, and comment down below a dove emoji to let me know you watched it till the end. Again, this color palette can never go wrong, pink and green is always a good match, and I think this theme is very good if you want to make a romantic theme in February, but don't want to go really hard on it, like very Valentine's Day. This one is very light and I love the muted colors. And even though you can get these stickers unless you are a Patreon of Runas, I'm sure you can use other stationery to achieve the same vibe and aesthetic. But I'm still going to leave everything linked down below in case you need it. Oh, and before I forget to mention, that's a little surprise in the end. My other cat, Cindy, decided to show up just as I finished filming, so if you want to see this very rare sighting, stay until the end. So I hope you have a lovely day or night wherever you are, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye!